Hey, what's up, eh? We're up here in the Great White North. Anyway, it's been sunny out today. The last few days I've been surfing the net to try to find an insulation that would be compatible and suitable for retrofitting RVs and campers. I've looked into carbon foam, enhanced graphene foam, uh, stuff like that. And just today I came across a conventional process that uses aircrete, where you actually make your slurry, your concrete slurry, then you mix your your foam made from soap into the slurry, and you can actually pour it as a mold, or you could use it as a spray to spray in between the studs of a trailer. And it has an R factor of around 7 per inch. So if you actually built out your, you got your side of your trailer, you get all the skin off, you get all the insulation removed. So you add an 1.5 inch border around the outside, and you border out all your openings. And if you actually made 1.5 inch material, you take a 2x4, cut it down to 1.5 inch, and put a staggered roll over over top. You'd have your studs would be so far, so you put a stud in between, a second layer of studding. Then you take your shotcrete and fill it all in, so you can build it up to 3 inches, leave it dry, shave it off, put your building wrap on, and then put your metal back on and all your windows and all that. Shotcrete is 100% environmental friendly. It's a green technology. It absorbs CO2. There's no gas emissions. You can control the density, where you can make it like a 1 pound mix, where it actually becomes an insulation, or you can increase it from maybe a 2 pound mix. It would give you more strength, but it would cut back on the insulation value somewhat. But you would have a material. If you kept to the 1 pound mix, you can actually imprint your finger into it, but it's rigid enough that's going to stabilize the camper. It's actually going to reinforce. So if you actually had a double outside wall system, you wouldn't have to use like a 1/4 inch or 3/4 inch for plywood over top, because it'd actually really enhance the strength of it, and it'd be 100% fireproof, no off-gassing, nothing to harm your health. And where styrofoam, if you put it on too thick, it's not going to cure, and it's going to off-gas. A lot of problems with styrofoam, even if you know how to apply it. And besides, styrofoam is not fireproof. You can make fireproof styrofoam, but I haven't found any videos on YouTube of how to make it. So I've basically going to settle with making shotcrete, and taking a camper and trying it out to see how that works. It's definitely going to probably improve the R value. All said and told, at least double, or maybe between double and triple. And start there. And it's cheap to make. It takes a little bit to put your equipment together, but for making, taking older campers that have a wood frame structure, you could peel the outside up, you could fur it out 1.5 inches, you could load it with shotcrete. You should change out your windows, get custom vinyl windows to replace the windows that are conventional windows that are on RVs, and it's just going to give you a better setup. But that would mean that you could take a camper that's a summer camper, and you could upgrade it to where it's going to handle -40 temperatures, and also handle extreme hot weather. And there was one video that I came across that added carbon to carbon foam to shotcrete, and it just gave it, and you couldn't even dent it. It just made it really solid, and actually increases not only the R value, but it increases the ability to resist intense heat. And so I was thinking, you could do the first layer with normal shotcrete, then you can make a shotcrete that has the carbon enhancement on it, and use that to finish off the exterior. So that would give you probably an R value of 21 to maybe 40, like that. Adding that carbon foam, crushed carbon foam to it, it's really going to increase the R value. With enhanced graphene foam, 1-inch styrofoam, it actually is enhanced to from an R7 to an R50. So 1 inch of graphene enhanced foam, it has the same value of 12 inches of bad insulation. But as I was saying, I didn't come across anybody that was releasing that information publicly on YouTube. But shotcrete, it's been around, it started off with foamcrete, and there's various steps that were actually processed up into shotcrete that you could make. And there was one guy today, I watched all his videos. His name is Harry. Hi Harry, if you're out there. And I asked him about what he thinks about using shotcrete to replace the existing insulation in RVs and campers. So I'm still waiting to get back from him. But I think this would be a cheap and a readily available solution, because we're coming into another housing crisis, and you don't expect the government to help you, because you're not. Like when this market crashes, if you can't pay off your mortgage, the banks will simply just take back your home, and you're going to be on the streets. That's what it's all about. Not just for the homeless, but putting a simple system together where you could use, take campers that are maybe the life is gone in them, but inside is still good, and you could retrofit the entire exterior, and also use your aircrete to super insulate the bottom, right? And that's the biggest loss in a summer camper, is the bottom, because there is no insulation in it. And you could actually spray around your black water tank, your gray water tank, your auxiliary water tank. You could build in extra battery banks inside, so you could have insulated battery banks that you could actually suspend underneath the unit. Lots of stuff that you can do, but I think we have a winner here, and I'm just praying that this is going to get out to some people that will take interest in this. We do need to prepare, folks, because when this collapse comes, we're going to see, when the American dollar as a reserve currency, as an international trading currency of the world, when it's undermined by the bankers, America would no longer, the American reserve currency would no longer be number one. It would no longer be used for international trade, and the American dollar will begin to fall in value, and it's going to crash to where it's only not even worth its paper. So we need to prepare for this while we still have time. But for you out there that have a working knowledge of aircrete, I would value your comments and expertise, opinions of how to put a simple system together. And I could take my van and get a short pull a short trailer with it and set up a system. I love carpentry, and I like to get out of it, because you get older, it gets more difficult. I don't like climbing ladders anymore, but I could use shotcrete for making pads, making sidewalks. I could use it for you could take trailers, house trailers, you could strip the outside on, You could retrofit the outside, and what it would cost for them to do that, they would save that in 1 or 2 winters. And you know, you can have a place that's going to heat up very easily and less energy to heat, and like all around, it's going to be good. You can spray the bottom, get rid of that any crappy foam that's in it, or any insulation, bad insulation. You get rid of all that stuff and just use shotcrete, and maybe even enhanced carbon shotcrete to increase the R value and the to make it into to where you can even take a blowtorch to the outside. It's not going to burn. And you know, actually, my own thinking is that styrofoam that's not fireproof should be banned in homes. It should be banned in trailers and RVs, because you know, if it starts on fire, you can't put it out, and the fumes from it's going to kill you. So actually, this stuff should be banned and replaced with something that's much more friendlier, and that's not going to burn. Okay, just getting this out to you. This is going to be under Kingdom Camps for the Homeless shotcrete insulation, and I'm going to get this out to you in the next hour. This is Don Taylor coming to you from here in Hope, British Columbia, with putting a program together that we all can do, that we can all profit by it and be in health, to prepare for the times of trouble that we are coming into. You know, there will be a time where the cities will fail, where the grid's going to go down, chaos is going to erupt in the cities. But those of you in the countries, let's put a plan together, because it's not only for those of you living out in the country, but it's going to be for those that's going to be coming up there that escape from the cities. Okay, I'm going to end it here.